What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, you're welcome. My name is Victoria, and on this channel, I share my Niger lifestyle here in the United Kingdom, and also I share tips for relocation. I mean, different tips and anything that I hear or I see or I know that is going to help people who are looking to migrate into the United Kingdom or anywhere else from their country. That is what I talk about. So if you like this kind of content, please stick around. Make sure you like this video, leave me a comment below, share this video with your friends, and subscribe. So in today's video, I've brought Abayomi back. Abayomi is a UK senior carer who just came into the UK from Nigeria some months back, and it was here on my channel recently to share his experience of how it all went, the process and everything. If you missed that video, I'm going to be leaving it in the description box below. Try and catch up on that video. It's going to give you some motivation, the motivation that you need to keep going actually. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about interview tips, and the things that you need to be doing, to have that perfect interview and get the job even after your interview. So Abayami is going to be sharing some useful tips and details, some useful interview questions with us. So I have the pleasure of introducing Abayomi to you again. Thank you so much, Abayomi, for coming back on my channel. Abayomi has been on this channel before. If you have not seen my first interview with him, I'll advise you check it out. I'll be leaving it in the description box below. So like I said earlier, he's a Nigerian and he just came into the UK as a senior carer. And his story is very, very inspiring and motivating. Like when I was reading the comments, I was like, wow, 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 wow. This is great. This is awesome. Like a lot of people have gotten the motivation to actually carry on and keep pushing when they heard his story, which is a very, very good thing. Thank you so much for coming on my channel again. Thank you so very much. So today we are going to be talking about interviews.
Hi, sister. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Hope everyone is doing fine. I'm good, and I trust you're doing good too.
The last video that we had together, I was saying that in that video, you said something that I actually grabbed. You said you were able to do interviews with three different employers, but the last one, which got you the job you are currently doing here in the UK, when you finished that interview, you were almost sure that yes, you got that job. So what was it like? What happened? What gave you that confidence that yes, I've gotten this job? Like what happened? Just share with us quickly.
So actually, what happened was not that the employer told me that, oh, you did very well, or someone told me that yeah, this is a good one, but I knew myself. I was confident. I love my delivery, and I was actually reading the countenance of my employer and how well she received my messages. And I'm sure, like, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not the owner of the job, but I was like, at least this is a goal. So so that
You
was
say
it.
you said you love your delivery. You love
Yeah,
your
yeah.
delivery. Right, right, right. Okay, so let's go to the main questions. This
Okay.
video will be a quick one, hopefully. Let's start with some of the interview questions you've come across. You know, you are you are at a good place to actually tell us the kind of questions that people should look forward to when they are going for healthcare assistance job interviews. So you've done like three interviews with different employers and you have an idea of the questions that they ask. So can you share with us some of the questions that they asked you over the course of those interviews? Maybe two or three or four of such questions. And how did you answer those questions? Or how do you think um somebody looking to get an healthcare assistant job, how do you think the person should actually answer such question?
Talking about interview questions, I personally, from my own research and what I've gone through, I can say it is divided into three parts. Like every other interview questions, you have to introduce yourself. You know, interview questions, like, it can come in this form, like, you should give an introduction of yourself or walk me through your CV. That is the first question that you should expect. And then after that, you will be asked the, let's say, the questions that introduce you to being a senior carer. Like, what is your job? What is your role as a senior carer? Who is a senior carer? You have to show that and express yourself, show everything you know or you have learned about being a senior carer. That is the first one. And then the second one has to do with core questions of being a senior carer, or core points, core values of being a senior. Those things that are very important, part of the job that you just have to know. Do you understand? Talking about confidentiality, talking about safeguarding, talking about manual handling, and infection control, all those things that you've learned while during your time as a student or training yourself to become a senior carer. So those are things that will come next. And finally, you'll be asked situational questions. And what do I mean by situational questions? There are questions whereby the interviewer will cite an example. It can be anything. Do you understand?
Yeah, like a scenario.
Yes, they will cite an exam and a scenario, like you said, a
Yeah,
scenario, and you will be asked to in your best way of thinking, or in your best way as regards what you've learned, how would you act or attend to such. So there are stuff like that. Do you understand? So
like in
that
a situation, if something should happen, what will you
yeah,
do
I
as
have
a
I have
team
examples.
leader?
I have examples.
Right.
In the first one, you'll be introduced, you introduce, and then the second one they will ask you about confidentiality and desire. But the third one, it can be anything. Do you understand? Like in my own case now, I was asked when, like, let's say for example, you go to your care user, or you go to his or her house and nobody is opening the door, you knock, and what will you do? Do you understand? What will you do? So in situations like that, you are expected to cite to give illustration of how you are going to handle it, professionally. Do you understand? And in my own case, what I said actually is the first and foremost thing, on many occasions you'll be going to a place that will be the first time. Do you understand? Or even the second time. And the UK, how this place is built, a lot of houses, a lot of house resembles themselves. You have to be sure that the first and foremost thing is you are in the right
That
house.
place.
Now,
Yeah.
after making sure that you're in the right house and you are still trying your way in, and nobody is letting you in, you make sure that you knock, or you find a way of making sure that your presence there is made known to, or will be made known to someone inside. Do you understand? So that is the second important thing. And finally, if no one is attending to you, you are allowed to go around the house, to check what is happening. If you see anyone, you can just knock through that gate and or through the window and let them know that, oh, you are outside. Maybe perhaps they forgot, or they can't hear knockings from outside, or perhaps you didn't see anyone. Then the right thing and the most important thing is for you to call your manager and report that, oh, I came to, let's say, Sylvester, for example. Oh, I am at Sylvester's house and no one is attending to me. So I tried knocking, I went round, and that is, you've given a report to your manager. So I think that is a very good way of answering that kind of question. That is one situational question. There can be another situational question that says, what will you do if you see your service user on the floor? Do you understand? You just met the person on the floor, maybe conscious or unconscious. What are you going to do? And here, as a senior carer, you are expected, the first thing you have to do is to do a proper risk assessment. Check if the place is safe for you and the care user. And after that, you should be able to check, call out, like, oh, are you okay? Are you all right? If the person can talk and if the person is if the person can respond, then you can go ahead and do normal thing as a carer. But if the person doesn't respond, you go ahead with BLS. But before doing that, you make your manager know and you call 999 for emergency. Do you understand? So those are things, they are just citing examples, like giving illustrations of what you might do if those kind of situation arises, and that is it.
That was so extensive. Thank you so much for that.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah. So the next question that I'll be asking you, or that I'll be asking you is, can you give people who are watching you, people who are preparing for their interviews, can you give them some tips? Tips that they need to know, things that you think they should be doing in order to ace their interview, like things that they should be doing, things that they should know.
Firstly, and most importantly, what you are going there for. Like, even if you don't know everything, try to like brush through, read, know something, like know what you want to go and face, and prepare yourself about what is to come. And on the day of the interview, the most important thing, and it's not a physical something, make sure that your connections are very okay. Make sure that your internet is good, and if you are using your cell phone, make sure your phone is on do not disturb mode. Make sure that no calls or messages are disturbing you. Then your video, you have to make sure that your background is okay, not like this my own background. Make sure that your background is
All my own background.
make sure that your
So
background
this
is
background
okay.
people go and be looking for by you.
So they should look for maybe it's something like a plain
Maybe
white or
like a
anything.
wall, a plain wall.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
without
And
chairs
so
and all that. Yeah, okay.
it depends. You can do
And if
it
you can
like
decorate
your
it.
own chair. I think your chair is still okay.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Okay.
So that, and then what you are putting on is very important. You don't just want to go into an interview, roughly.
Yeah, don't go in casually, like you're
Yes,
going
don't
to
do it
play
casually,
ball.
because even
Yeah,
it's in the real sense it will look casual because you are looking at your phone, but or you are looking at your laptop,
it's a
but in the
serious
real sense
business.
you are
Yeah.
connected to some people who really mean business. Do you understand? So
Yeah,
you have to show like,
who can determine where you will be in the next 3 4 months?
yeah, so that's it. And another very important thing is your lighting. Make sure the lighting of your environment or where you are or that room where you want to do the interview is at least shining or bright enough to see you.
Thank you so much for that, Abayomi. Those are very, very wonderful tips. So, do you have any other thing you want to add to what you've said already as we are rounding up? Is there any other tips or advice that you want to give, to people who are still in this process?
Yes, I would like to add two things, and before adding another thing, do you understand? The first thing actually is if you have an interview you want to do, it is very important to check, like Google. You browse about the company, look for their visions and missions and how it works, look for the location and the manager if possible. Then on the day of your interview, you have to put those things, they are things that make you feel like or make you present yourself like you are very, very keen on having the job,
Like you
like,
are serious.
and there can be a question like this, that why do you want to work for us? Do you understand? So that kind of question you can give it, you can give the answer by saying yes, you have checked their website, you have browsed about them, and you notice that maybe one of their core values, proceeding or making people grow, is
Yeah.
part of their core values, and you see yourself as someone that want to grow. Do you understand? So that is one of the reasons why you just want to work for them.
That's a key one.
So
Yeah.
that is that. And the second thing is that after your interview, make sure or try as much as possible to ask questions. It's very good. It shows that you
It
are
shows that
eager.
you are
You are,
interested. Yeah,
yes,
you really
you
want
are
to work
eager, you
with
are
them.
interested in what is going on. In my own during my own time, I just asked the manager. In fact, the interviewer was very, very amazed. I was like, what advice can you give to a successful candidate?
Oh,
you understand?
was that the question you asked?
Yes, I was like, what can you advise me if I'm a successful candidate? It propels you to the future. It makes you like present yourself like seeing yourself there already. You understand? Or you can ask any question. What are the roles of a manager? What any questions?
And another
And
question that you can ask, like he said, is what does the company has in store for you to be able to grow? You
yeah,
know, to be able
so
to grow, to
any
advance in
yeah,
your career.
yeah, questions like that.
It
And
shows
on the
that you are not, sorry, it shows that you are not selfish. You are not just looking at yourself alone. You are also looking out for them and ways. Of course, if you grow, you are growing, the company is growing. I mean, the value of the growth of the company is equivalent to the value of the growth of the people that are working there. So if you are growing, their company is growing. So it shows that you are not selfish.
So, and the last thing I'm going to say is you don't give up. You understand? You've gotten to this place. This is a very long way to go. You don't want to give up. You don't want to stop dreaming, and you don't want to. You seriously want to see it happen. So that's it. I wish everyone well, and I believe by God's grace, it's going to be fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abayomi. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much for coming over to my channel again. I am so grateful, and I'm sure that people who are preparing for their interview are really, really finding this helpful. And thank you so much. So if you are wondering, like, oh, you have not gotten to this stage where you have an interview, what do you do? What are the stages that you need to go through before you get to the stage where you get an interview? I have another video where I specifically talked about everything you need to know about the healthcare assistance migration to the United Kingdom, the requirements, the process, and everything. I'm going to be leaving it in the description box below. So just try and watch that. And I have other videos that are associated, with that video also. So try and watch those videos. They will give you a really good background to what we are talking about. And I wish you all the very best if you are currently applying for interviews or your interview is already, around the corner. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I truly appreciate you. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section and we'll try our possible best to address it. And so thank you so much again, Abayomi, for coming on my channel. And until next time, guys, when I see you in my next video, bye bye.